play of the game from way down.
1, 2, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bombs going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bombs Tastingo gonna find GREYMANE.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Nexus Gaming series. We had a little bit of a change up tonight. We're going to go into Division D East, all the way from Division A. But so a little bit of a change, but joining me tonight is the #1 most played Blaze player in all of NGS. And if that's not actually true, then I don't want to be wrong. I've got Kreenovast joining me tonight. How you doing today, buddy?
Good, and it's 12 out of 16 games, I believe, so if it, by any chance someone has played Blaze more than 12 games, I'd be surprised.
12 out of 16, so 75% of the time that you've played in NGS, you've been playing the Blaze. That's absolutely bonkers. So, alright, well, so we're going to see tonight here Bancho and Church of Murky. Just letting them know that we're ready, because we snuck in on them just at the last minute here. Let's see. Let's take a look at where these standings are for these teams here. So Division D East here has a pretty competitive upper bracket here. We've got Bancho sitting at 14, and we got Church of Murky with 13. So the #4 and #5 team out of Division D East, and then our map bans, because we're all ready to go on the draft here. Bancho banning out the Sky Temple and Volskaya Foundry. Church of Murky banning out the Cursed Hollow and Alterac Pass. And our first game is going to be on Infernal Shrines.
Infernal Shrines is the map that can go one way or another depending on which Punisher you get, especially once they buff the Frozen Punisher.
Yeah, absolutely. You get a Frozen Punisher on round 1, and it can affect the entire play of your draft, your strategy, or if you get an Arcane Punisher that's a little bit weaker, you know, maybe you look to get push value instead of focusing on that Punisher. You go elsewhere and get value. So a lot of potential adjustments to strategies here, and we're going to see the support bans coming out first here on Alexstrasza and Oriole.
I mean, Alexstrasza has always been good on the map ever since her release. Get to the 28 minions, pop the Dragon Queen. Most of the time, that's your Punisher.
Yeah, for sure. And Alex, as a whole, she's a hero that sits kind of in the mid-range of the supports. So she's, you know, not generally the best. She's not generally the worst. But definitely some counterplay, but a very strong hero to begin with. And with heroes like Uther kind of stepping into the double support role, I could see, you know, an Uther main tank plus an Alexstrasza here being really strong.
Yeah, double support has definitely been back on the rise slowly, I want to say. With, like, especially after the Oriole buffs. One of the combinations I was seeing in Div B was Oriole Uther. There's like the Uther after he goes in, Divine Storms gets the combo off. And then he does his little blast of light healing. Definitely one of the...
So we're going to see the first pick onto GREYMANE here. So GREYMANE does have a little bit of wave clear on the shrines. Well, I shouldn't call it wave clear. It's not a wave, right?
Shrine clear. So
but he's got some AoE with that cocktail and his Razor Swipe. But really just a really strong hero. And, you know, of important note, no Deathwing ban. So GREYMANE early doesn't necessarily dissuade you from taking Deathwing, but it certainly gives you a pause. It makes you think about it.
Well, it doesn't like we're going to get the Deathwing in the first 3 picks anyways. Either Blazer and Orphea, something that can be incredibly deadly when together, especially if the team has had enough practice.
So, you've had a little bit of practice on Blaze. How does that work out for the Orphea? What is the combo that makes that work for you?
Jet Propulsion into a Q with a W, and just the slow some oils. they call the Blaze is knowing when to light your oils and when just to use them for the smoke.
So you probably don't prefer to take the level 7 talent that puts the fire or automatically ignites your oil then?
Nope. I haven't taken that talent since a long time.
So we're going to see the Deathwing ban coming out for the third and final ban here for Church of Murky.
And for Banjo, we got pretty standard so far. Jaina, GREYMANE, ETC. That's a very powerful lineup to start. And it's very old school too.
On a ban, going to be the final ban here, and I like that ban. I mean, the ETC doesn't have a ton of health compared to some other tanks. He's got the relative effective health because of the armor potential, but also that guitar solo giving him some self-healing. So having Ana be able to proc that healing grenade onto ETC or somebody else that they were trying to focus down would be pretty impressive. And I'll be interested to see if we take Alpha Killer with GREYMANE here with the, or rather Executioner with the Jaina getting that additional damage.
Both sides are looking incredibly strong, and that's Sylvanas. Depending on the build she goes, she can either blow up that target quickly, or by God, she could put in some spread damage.
And I would,
oh, go on.
I was just gonna say, I would think that here we might see that spread damage because of the shrine. But I mean, I don't know. Right now, I feel like Sylvanas is their primary clear for the shrine. So to me, that would make the most sense.
My big thing will we see Orphea going stacking on 7? That's always fun to see. How high can those stacks get?
The Chomp build?
The Chomp build.
Could be. And we're gonna see Imperius here for the final pickup to go against the Leoric in the solo lane. Now this is a remarkably standard draft. All of these heroes are pretty, top tier or close to it. You don't always see this in Division D. Sometimes you'll see like, hey, we've got this one trick, I don't know, Murky or Gazlo, and that's not to say that it doesn't work, because it clearly it does sometimes. But they're not picks you see in, say, Heroic, for example. Like most, if not all of these picks, I think you would see even in your upper tiers of NGS, which is, it's good to see. Like it's a little bit of mimicry in a way, or even just teams working out how to connect the dots and ultimately play these heroes that are so strong. I didn't lose you, did I? Okay.
But out for me, it's like, what?
What's Aero talking about anyway? All right, well, we've got Bancho on the left, Church of Murky on the right. Krino, go ahead and take your pick and introduce whichever team you like.
I think I'll choose the right side. On the right, we've got Shark here on the Blaze, Rigoli on the Enduin, the Dude on Orphea, Orion on the Sylvanas, and Redbeard on the Imperius.
All right, and just fixing the stream here. Church of Murky. Wanted to update that for people coming in. On the left, we have Bancho. It's going to be Quinal on the GREYMANE, Skev 13 on the ETC, Spice on the Jaina, Bluestein version 2 on the Rhaegar, and Ronan on the Leoric. Apparently somebody has a train mount. I don't see the train. Oh, ETC. And you know what? I gotta say, the one time that I played on a train mount, it was ETC, so I feel that. Yeah, I get that.
It's a good mount. It's a fun mount.
Alright, so I'm gonna set up the poll here for you guys to vote in chat while Krino talks about whatever he feels like talking about.
Well, I'll talk about the offlane, because that's where I know the most pressure. In this offlane, it should be the Leoric who puts in the most pressure. Especially if he, goes the outside renewal, but he might be able to sustain a little better if he went to consume vitality. And as we can see, teams did bot rotations, let the offlaners duke it out on top.
Alrighty, well, the vote is up. Make sure that you go to the top of your chat there, drop down, select the team you think's gonna win, or just the team you like better. make sure you hit that vote button, otherwise it won't register, and we'll see in a few moments what you guys think about this game setup.
It looks like we're not getting spread off so honest either. She went in. Ooh.
Oh, we may have a pause here in a moment. Or perhaps not. Jane is going to go get that mid lane soak as you do as a bot. There you go. We'll go back to that in a moment. But that's fine. This gives us the opportunity to have that vote in chat get completed. Currently sitting at 0-0. So right now, I don't know who's going to win. There are plenty of you out in chat. Somebody's got to vote for one of these. Ah, there we go. Now we got to vote. So we do have a short pause here, well, hopefully a short pause anyway, as Jaina went offline. And as you know, as your in-game bots tend to do, completely just ignoring what the rest of the team wants you to do, right? So that bottom siege camp is going to get picked up by Church of Murky. So this, yeah, go ahead, buddy.
It's definitely going to put some pressure on. Surprised they took it instead of going for the siege camp in the bottom right.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, they get that kind of neutrally placed camp, but now while Bancho's working on that, they should be able to rotate in and get onto their own siege camp, especially with as split as Bancho is right now.
The shade has been thrown.
Just a little bit, yep. Looks like the vote's going to equalize out. We got a 50-50 here. It's going to be a coin flip. And again, you know what? While we're waiting, let's take a look at those standings again. I just want to point this out here. Again, 14 points to 13. These are very close teams in Division D East. And I think they've played... Oh, they have not played the same number of games. I'm sorry. Bancho sitting at 5. Church of Murky sitting at 6. Oh, and of course, you know why that is? Krino, you have any idea as to why that might be? Could you maybe wager a guess?
I think it might be something to do with flex matches.
It might be something to do with flex matches. Bancho, one of the historically most difficult teams to get to schedule their flex matches. This is officially a reminder to schedule your flex matches.
Don't have to be in the same night, but they have to be scheduled.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
So okay, so it seems as though Jaina's computer's just straight up dead. So let's check to see what happens. Disconnects and pause. Let's see what happens when somebody disconnects in the game. Game may be finished with an AI. Alternatively, the team with the disconnected player may elect to forfeit. So I mean, it's under 2 minutes. They could probably elect to just remake. I mean, I can't talk to them. Here, let me go to Discord. Guys, I'm going to put us on a quick commercial, so we'll be right back.
When I was young, I lived a life of recklessness. In my selfishness, I inflicted pain and hurt those I cared for. I have learned many lessons in my struggles with doubt and fear. Balance and harmony are not easily attained. They must be fought for! But on my journey, I have learned another lesson.
You do not have to fight alone.
Let's do this!
Ha! Ta!
Woohoo!
Yup!
Alrighty, everybody. So here's what's taking place. So one of the players from Bancho, unfortunately, it sounds like their computer died. So Bancho does have another player ready to go. The rules are pretty clear about what to do here. It either says, you know, play with an AI or, you know, you can forfeit. That said, we're under 2 minutes. Not really much of anything has happened in this game. So Church of Murky said we're fine with just, you know, remaking the game. So we'll make this, you know, we'll remake the same game, same draft, and then we'll go into it from there. So that's where we're at right now. Just need to get the new lobby set up. So we'll be ready to do that in a few minutes here, or a few moments, hopefully. Hey, relax. Do you have any pets, Carino?
Yeah, I got a dog and 5 cats.
Dog and 5 cats. Well, you got me beat by 1. I have 2 cats and 3 dogs, so.
Exact opposite ways, and I love my cats.
Alright, let's get invite to game. Alright, so I got you in here. Skev, Ronan, Quinol. Shusui is going to be our replacement for Spice.
Well, now Sushui's gonna do. Let's hope he follows his team instead.
I was gonna say, let's hope that he can play Jaina.
Yep. Although Jaina is definitely one of the more fun mages. Just the fun of being able to blow someone sky high.
Right. Alright, just explaining to them that the actual draft does matter because it goes into the replay for the replay files, so want to make sure we do that. Infernal Shrines 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Was he called electric or was he called fire? Flaming Boogaloo.
You know, I could go either way. Because there's really no electricity. It's fire, arcane, and frost, so yeah. Alright. Just reminding them of the bands here. Let's see, Captain. Let's move this along, guys. First draft team. I don't think, was that correct? Did they have this draft? Do you remember?
I think it is the honor, Orioles or honor definitely.
No, I was talking about who was first.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is correct, yeah.
Shows.
Okay. The replay won't have the correct data. If we just push the button, we'd already be halfway through the draft.
Hey, things happen. I swear. I'm a cursed being.
Thanks. All right, so Skev calling out the order, so we'll have that all ready to go. Here we go, back into the draft. Let's take a look at this draft, everybody. We're gonna have a big surprise.
Yeah, who knows what they're gonna pick and what they're gonna ban.
Right? All right, so hopefully this goes through quickly, and we don't have to wait for too long, as they should know all of their bans and everything, although I don't know that Orion knows that they're banning.
Well, at worst, they should be able to pull up the lobby chat.
Can you see the lobby chat?
I cannot as an observer.
I didn't think... Yeah, I didn't think about that. I can see it, so I just assumed that maybe you'd be able to see it as maybe that it all came through, but I guess not. Alrighty, so GREYMANE gonna be the first pick. There's the Orphea coming in with the Blaze. Hopefully next we'll see, what was it? ETC Jaina, I believe?
Jaina ETC, yep.
Alright, now we're gonna see the Deathwing. I feel like a mind reader here, Krino.
Yeah, it's like we had some sort of premonitions before this all started.
Right? Sylvanas Anduin. Do want to say thanks to Church of Murky for, you know, being willing to do this. It makes it so that the game is actually, like, again, the official rule would technically state play with an AI, but normally you don't have somebody disconnect like this early in the game either, right? It's usually later.
And especially not in such a hard manner as a computer just dying.
Good call. Yeah, so this works out well, and you know, it's under 2 minutes, so even like mounts and stuff like that would count as, you know, a 2 minute or less remake. So I think that overall, I think that this is the right way to go. So now we do need to make sure to remind whoever wins that when they do the reporting, that they report the right game.
I was supposed to be hoping talent choices are the same, because those talent choices were really, really nice to see earlier.
You know what? I don't even know that I looked. I was so busy doing the other stuff. So, all right. You know what? Let's go ahead and introduce our teams again, shall we? Since this is really the beginning of the game officially here. I'll start on the left here. We got Quinal playing the GREYMANE, Bluestein, version 2 on the Rhaegar, Skev 13 on the ETC, no longer on the train mount. We got Ronan playing the Leoric, and Shusui playing the Jaina.
We have Orion over on Sylvanas, Gully on the Anduin, Shock on the Blaze, the Dude on Orphea, and Redbeard on the Imperius.
Alrighty, so we see the good luck, have fun's the spooky ones. And here we go. So this looks somewhat familiar. I feel like we've been here before, although now Leoric is hanging out in the mid, is in fact not right up in the face of Imperius. So you were mentioning about one... Did you say that Leoric wins against the Imperius, you think?
He should, most of the time, yeah.
And is that just across the board, or does that change when Imperius gets like level 4 with the self-healing, or
it should be across the board for the most part.
Gotcha.
It's not like, say, your Vel Chen, which is completely dictated on, you know, your Vel going Dauntless or other talents. It should just be, you know, as long as Leo can land his grabby hands, he wins that matchup.
Right, yeah. As long as he can have that self-sustain. So we are going to see a little bit of a different scenario here with this bot siege camp. Is this time it's going to go over to Ban Cho. As in our first incarnation, that did go over to Church of Murky, but they spent a little bit more time getting the soak in that mid lane. But also Bancho previously had gone to their siege camp first, so a slight variation, learning from game number 1 here, and the XP leads going over slightly to Bancho here.
Oh, never mind. I was about to say, for the looking mid, maybe we see an invade, but there it goes back up to the top lane.
Yeah, just working on that soak is going to get the slow, has the spooky hand onto Redbeard here. Oh, I know, I missed it because I wanted to see the solo. Darn it.
It's fun. It was a quick, clean kill down there in the bottom. Wake up pound, followed by with the solo, followed by an ETC stun. The GREYMANE fights.
Nice. And that's, you know, that's the combo you want to see. And now Bancho with that advantage, getting the kill onto Anduin, they're going to get in onto the aggressive siege camp. So pushing a little bit hard here. Jaina taking a bunch of damage though from the Orphea and the towers here. So gonna have to be a little bit careful there. Siege camp will get cleared up. The first Punisher is in fact going to be that frozen Punisher. It's going to be up in the top lane.
Was very hard with it due to having the Sylvanas trade.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Because the frozen Punishers now shut down structures, so with the proper timing between that freeze plus Sylvanas Black Arrows and then the next freeze, I mean, that's about the right amount of time too between the bursts. I want to say it's like 15 seconds for the leap, and I think they do two bursts in between maybe, so
I want to say it's 2 in between, but I could be wrong. 2
in between? Okay. So maybe it's a little bit longer. Maybe it's like 20 seconds on the leap. But right now, Bancho's going to get right onto the altar and start clearing these Shrine Monkeys. With the Shaman Camp going to get picked up by Church of Murky. So just a little bit behind in the XP right now.
That was a nice stretch.
So 7's coming up here, and Rhaegar going into the lane, trying to get a little bit of that XP, see if they can't get that. But it's 27-8, all of the shrine clears so far here in favor of Bancho, but Leoric's gonna get pushed down a little bit, uses that Wraith Walk to avoid the jet propulsion stun. And it looks like Bancho's gonna pull back a little bit. They're a little low, and they only need, never mind, they only need 2 more, make it 1.
And there you go.
Yeah, so they just left Quinal there on the point, allowed him to finish the job. And it worked out. He was the one with full health.
And he's a GREYMANE. GREYMANE does kill.
Alright, so there's 1 round of burst after the jump. There's the second one. And the jump. So yeah. So jump, 2 bursts, and then a jump. So ultimately, just the wall, and a little bit of damage onto the fort. Leoric and Imperius doing what they can to get their teams caught up in the XP. Level 7 for both teams, but Imperius going to get power slide from Skev there, and great body blocking from ETC to make sure that Imperius couldn't get through.
He just made sure he couldn't move and kept him there so that the Jaina and the GREYMANE could, for lack of a better term, go ham.
Well, I don't know that they go ham. I mean, I suppose they could go ham, but they got the beef on their team, right?
True enough to that. And looks like we're not going to get the infinite stacking from Orphea. Instead, she's going into the Mind Devourer.
And I think that probably makes a lot of sense. The chomp build is fun. It's kind of how things started with Orphea, but then they made that change to her level 16, so you couldn't just get double chomps every time.
Yeah.
Because that was a little oppressive.
It was oppressive, but it was fun to see, especially while HTC was still around.
Yeah, it was fun at BlizzCon too. Taking that talent into a bunch of noobs, you're able to just stack that thing up to several hundred in a game, and like your chomp does 800 or something like that. Just absolutely nuts. Checking up into the top lane, we've got, again, Leoric versus Imperius, and Imperius having to pull back here as the wave clear clearly in favor of Leoric there.
And he didn't even need to go Neopescence.
For sure.
Enough, there was no holy fervor on the Imperius for the extra wave of damage.
That is a little surprising. Yeah, that cleave from Imperius, it's a fairly short cooldown, I believe 30 seconds, and it's really good for the shrine clear. And not only that, but there's still a lot of melee on this team too, so that would really help with his valorous brand stacks.
Ooh, but from the Leoric, are we gonna see a full spooky hand build? This is gonna get interesting.
It does seem that way. Yeah, that could be interesting, seeing a level 20 Leoric with the upgrade to March and having full drain life on just everybody on the other team.
Not often you get to see a mod to the Black King game, but when you do, you know it's going to be a good game one way or the other.
And this could be interesting too, because we do have the salvation on the side of Church of Murky. So all of those people kind of want to be close in. So March of the Black King might actually get some significant value there with that. Ring of Frost going to come in, Combustion going out is going to get pretty significant value here. It's going to be Protect from Anduin as the Crushing Jaws coming out from Orphea. Shock a little bit low, is going to have to Jet Propulsion away. But GREYMANE gets the kill anyway. Orion looks like they may fall as well, getting caught by the Earthbind Totem. So a 2-for-0 trade there coming out in favor of Bayan Cho, as they're going to get working on this second shrine of the game here.
It's a Molder Punisher. And the good thing to note,
yeah, and Mortar Punishers do a lot of damage as well.
Timer of the monster with one of the jumps, or with just the fire raining down, and that can be potentially devastating. Maybe keep wall.
Yeah, I mean, this is already going to go down just with the blizzard here, so, you know, where's the power slide? Just waiting for that stun from the Immortal. And this is all but guaranteeing a bottom fort.
That monster's still up, so Church of Murky over steps. This could come to a keep. That's still a relatively healthy Punisher.
Yeah, it's about 2/3 here. They're working on the sidewall first. ETC does have that mosh pit, so, you know, would be a great place to start. There's the leap from the Punisher. The Ring of Frost going out. Doesn't hit, but it didn't need to. Sylvanas taking the bulk of that damage. And this is now looking even more like it's actually going to go straight into a keep here.
Possibly even game if they give another kill.
They're looking like they might want to go in on it. GREYMANE going after that that follow-up from the Punisher stun. But they're going to pull back. And I think that makes the most sense, right? I mean, they did just have Sylvanas returning. Still relatively short res timers, so... And the Punisher had low health. I think it would have been a pretty risky play to try to go for that core at that point.
Especially without another kill. And all of the ultimates for Church of Murky are up now.
That is true, and they do have a couple of ways to deal with the mosh pit here. They've got that jet propulsion with the new habits, getting the unstoppable. They've got Celestial Charge from Imperius, although that's a little bit harder to do. Crushing Jaws, Sylvanas Wailing Arrow. So a few different ways they can stop it, but what are we looking for here? ETC's going into a... Okay, they see everybody in the middle here.
They just want to take that down and keep the pressure on.
Next...
That's not going to spawn catapults every third wave.
Next Punisher's coming in the mid. It's going to be an Arcane Punisher. So the Punishers rotate based on what they are, right? So you'll always have, in a set of 3, you will always have one of each. But the locations of the Punishers, the shrines themselves, don't rotate the same way. You'll never have 2 in the same lane, but it doesn't necessarily go, you know, for example, top, bot, mid. It can go top, bot, and then top again. So it's not a quick rotation amongst the 3.
It's not, and looks like will we see the Executioner you were talking about earlier?
We do. So GREYMANE 30% damage.
And there's a numbing blast there too, so even more, I want to say soft CC.
Yeah, short. It's a short duration route, but I mean, 1 second is enough when you've got the rest of the CC potential here coming from Bancho. It looks like the rotation may be coming down after the Sylvanas. It's just ETC and Leoric, so I'm not sure that they're going to be able to get her, and especially if she's in that bush in a hearth away. But it looks like right now Church of Murky just trying to find themselves a level 16, because this
get that huge spike.
Yeah, this Punisher, it's coming up. They're not going to get 16 before the Punisher, before the Shrine, so they're going to have to try to get level 16s before it gets to their keep and try to fight on an even talent, because I don't know that this is the best idea for them to try to take this fight over the Shrine. They haven't really been winning these fights, right? It's 6 kills to 0, so they haven't straight up lost a full team wipe, but they haven't had any kills yet. And trying to do this down 16... that would have been the place to do it, but they didn't quite land the combo.
Wailing Arrow is down 2 now. Although Murky is still relatively healthy.
Leoric the only one down too much here on the side of Bancho, though.
Oh, that...
This is the potential place for them to get it. They get the Ancestral out, but Rhaegar is going to fall. The Mosh Pit coming into 2. They lose 3 players outside of the Mosh there, as Bagoli now going to die. Sylvanas used that Haunting Wave. It started off well, but a little bit of overlap on their abilities. The Jet Propulsion and Celestial Charge, if those were timed very slightly differently, I think that goes from a 1 for 4 to a probably like a 3 for maybe none.
That was a beautiful start. That was a beautiful propulsion and Celestial Charge, and the Crushing Jaws follow-up was really nicely done.
And it looks like up in the top lane, top keep is down now with that Shaman Camp with Catapult Pressure. And here we have 16, so this is it. This is the kind of the last stand of Church of Murky in this, because this keep is gonna fall. They don't need the Punisher to do that. The Punisher's just distracting the team right now. There's the leap onto Imperius here. Shadow Dagger getting spread around a little bit. ETC's looking for that Blaze, but Blaze getting booped away from the Cursed Bullet. And now Punisher's going to go down, but so is the shield, as Orpheus is going to get caught in the ring, as is Bagoli on the Anduin here. The March of the Black King going out. Combustion as well. Shisui in a little bit of danger, is going to Ice Block. GREYMANE looking for the Sylvanas, but the Protect coming out just in time. Can Redbeard get there? No. GREYMANE going to fall in counter, though. 24% on the core. If these guys had just focused on the core, it'd be dead.
So close, and now the shield is starting to come back.
Leoric's going to fall, but Jaina getting her spells out. And we see the pings calling for Jaina, but it was just too late. It's going to be game number 1 going over to Bancho.
It was beautiful to see the Monster of the Black King. I haven't seen one of those in, well, in a very long time.
We didn't get to see the level 20, though.
Yeah. Damon's on the team. Just imagine what he could have done with the 20 upgrade. He went to full hand build. And those Drain Hopes that come out from 20, they are talented hands.
Yeah. And with those talents here at 7, at 13, at 16, that's a lot of healing. It's a lot of damage going out. It's all percent damage as well, so it's going to affect your Blaze and your Imperius a little bit more heavily. I mean, that's 35% damage, right? I mean, it's 20% base to 35% with the level 16. What else? And yeah, and then drains... increases the healing he gets to 25% of his maximum health, also getting an additional 5% burst. So I mean, he could just drain his entire life up on top of what March of the Black King does for healing.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was just beautiful to see, though.
It was nice to see Church of Murky at the end of that, at that last Punisher, that third Punisher, that third Shrine. You know, coordinate a little bit, get a couple of actually, I think they just got the one kill, but they got so close on some of those others. If they just make some minor tweaks to that and get that combo a little bit better between Blaze and Imperius, then I think that they get those kills and they come right back into this game. So we'll have to see how they do in game number 2.
Can't wait to see it.
If it's 2-0, is it really a trade? I thought there was a 1-on-1 in there when I said it was a trade. Am I crazy?
He was rolling someone else well on the side of chance of Murky at the end there.
I'm not entirely sure what... I was invited to the lobby, and then it said I left the lobby, and then I got into the lobby, and then I was removed from the lobby. I don't know. Maybe it was the wrong map. Looks like our next game is going to be Braxis Holdout here.
This will be an interesting one.
I'm not sure who picked it. We'll have to find that out in a moment. And is it still Shisui? It is. Okay. This is good.
You got a lobby thing?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, they're just inviting people. Like, who knows? Could all be random.
Hey, at least Chance of Murky has one thing, and that makes them win in my heart. They have portrait synergy.
They sure do. And it's the Carbot Murky. It's the best one.
Anything Carbot's the best one.
Alright, gotta let them know about the draft and all that.
One thing I'll be very excited to see is what they pick for off-fight. BOE and Braxis Holdout. They can be where the very strange off-laners shine.
Yeah, absolutely. So we could still see the Leoric and the Imperius. Those, do get picked here. I think that if you're Church of Murky, though, if you see that Leoric again, it's probably not going to be Imperius. I don't think he has enough presence to be able to sustain outside of the lane.
The Thrall could be good.
Who?
Thrall.
Thrall? Yep.
Just root, walk away whenever he hands you.
Well, and it seems like Malthael works pretty well into that too, for the same reason, right? You just walk away when he gets that spectral hand.
And Malthael has a ton of self-healing. Especially if you can hit all the way with one cleave.
Right. Alright, well, game number 2, it's going to be Braxis Holdout. Looks like it was the selection of Bancho. I gotta update that.
Who knows though? Maybe we'll see a Rexar.
Rexar, this is one of his better maps for sure. I know, if we were in Division B West and we were watching Phoenix Rising Onyx, who do you think that their solo lane would take on this map?
Phoenix Rising Onyx? Well, map because I haven't practiced this map itself in a long time. The ones I'm hoping for, and I'd probably go Blaze unless there is some picks that allow me to do other strange things.
That's all I was trying to get out of you, was that you would take Blaze. I didn't want you to give away any strategies or anything.
There's one strategy I'm waiting for Battlefield of Eternity and Braxis.
Gotcha.
But those are very map-specific ones.
Right. Well, GREYMANE gonna switch sides here. Gonna go over to Church of Murky. Right? We didn't switch sides? Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Nope, Church of Murky's on the right. So they stole the GREYMANE this time. He was, especially that Curse Bullet. I won't say he went Curse Bullet. Incredibly impactful. Just shred through the tanks. Shred through whoever they want.
Well, both of these heroes were banned out last game. One of them by Bancho, one of them by Church of Murky. So we're going to see the Ana and Johanna. The Ana Johanna. I love saying that. Just rolls off the tongue. It's kind of like Banduin and Ban Ana, right? You know, banana.
Banana.
Hey.
And,
Oh, you got stuff in your hand.
ooh.
It's going to be the Garrosh and Deckard. So we've got some pretty good lockdown potential there from the Deckard and the Garrosh to throw them into those routes.
And just the general point control that Garrosh brings. Oh, you want to get on the point? I'll just toss you away. There's no permanent unstoppables in this game. Definitely got banned out in the first rotation.
That said, I gotta say I'm not generally a huge fan of taking Garrosh into Ana. The sleeps really stink, but the healing reduction is just brutal, right? It makes it so that he can't hit his bloodthirst, and yeah, he's got armor, but part of the value of that armor is that he can continue to get healed, and if he's got that armor or that healing reduction, he's not as, I don't know, I just feel like he's way easier to kill because of his lower health pool.
He has a lot of EHP, a lot of effective, but so see if you get some percent damage in there, a lot of Tychus.
Exactly.
Doesn't have that much.
And interesting, we see the Sylvanas ban here. Oh, it's going to be Thrall and Phoenix. What do you think about that?
Phoenix and Thrall. Thrall? That's juicy on the Thrall. That may very well be a 4-man Thrall with a Phoenix. That,
At this point, yeah. Dude doesn't play Syl. Yes, I do. You guys can't see that, chat, because it's behind Krino. That's okay.
Chen and Li-Ming. Are we gonna see the UFL?
We could also potentially see Arthas into Chen. Would also work to slow down the GREYMANE, but I'm not sure how I'd feel about it with the Garrosh. Like, the Garrosh part of it would make it a little bit questionable, but if Garrosh wants to throw an Arthas into your team, I feel like whatever.
Well, I was wrong. That's not 4-man Thrall. That's a solo-man Thrall. And we have a Tazdingo on the team.
Zul'jin. Indeed, so... Alright, we'll see how this goes. They are switching heroes, aren't they? Chen, the goalie is on Deckard. No, they didn't. Okay.
Wait. My big question. How fast does Zul'jin get stacked? And does he go guillotine?
So... I mean, this could still be a 4-man Thrall, right? Zul'jin could go against Chen. He doesn't quite have the wave clear, but he'd stack really easily, I would think.
Those are the Phoenix offlane.
It could be. Like, they have a lot of potential here, but Ronan has been playing their offlane.
Yes, oh.
But that doesn't mean they stick that way. And if I remember correctly, it's been a while, but I believe that Bancho kind of flexes their positions around a little bit. So we'll have to see. We'll find out. We'll know in a moment. But let's go ahead and well, hold on. I've got the chat poll up, so make sure that you hit that drop down, select the team that you think's gonna win, and hit vote. But let's get our teams introduced. On the left, we've got Bancho. It's gonna be Quinal playing the Phoenix, Bluestein version 2 on the Ana, Skev13 playing Johanna, Ronan on the Zul'jin, and Thrall gonna be played by Shusui. And it looks like it is gonna be a solo lane Thrall.
And on the right side, we have the Shock on the Garrosh, the Gully on the Deckard Cain, Orion on the GREYMANE, the Dude on the Li-Ming, and up in top, Redbeard on the Panda.
Alrighty, so let's take a look at what we've got. So we've got the Aether Walker there for Li-Ming, giving her the free teleports as well as additional damage on missiles. So that's going to make it a little bit harder to clear the Zerg when those come in, if she's going to be going into that missile build or teleport build. Garrosh looking for the Zul'jin, but instead finds a lowly little minion.
Ooh. And this Zul'jin, he's gonna possibly shred the Gyarados. Look at his level 1.
Absolutely. Going into Bone Slicer here, so that's going to keep the Grievous throw on the target for longer, and at 16 late in the game, if we can get there, he's going to take whatever the name of the talent is that allows his axes to hit for his auto attacks to hit for full damage with no armor.
Mm-hmm. We'll just have to see if it gets that far. This map is incredibly snowballing.
And you know, it occurs to me, it's not just Garrosh that has armor on this team either. GREYMANE gets 10 armor when he's in Worgen form, and Deckard also has 10 armor, potentially 25 at level 16. So that's going to be a really high value talent. Speaking of Garrosh, though, it's going to be the first blood of the game. Going over to Ana at Ronan nearly the second. But it looks like maybe Orion? One more hit?
Teleport?
Oh, so close. But Phoenix flew a little too close to the sun. And Li Ming says, hey.
Sometimes the greed giveth, and sometimes the greed taketh away.
Recyclic calling out the same things, but it's going to look like he said it first, because I said it 30 seconds different. Yay for stream delay. That's okay. Rek and I, we're of similar mind. We get it.
Are we gonna see a foe? No.
So Johanna's got that Iron Skin, but doesn't now, so Garrosh could get the throw. He's going back in. Here comes GREYMANE looking for Ronan. Zul'jin could fall here, is going to be the next kill here. So trading out, or not trading out, just getting a free kill this time. Not free. Whatever. Words are hard.
Wasn't hard. Life is hard. Looks like Li Ming may be going into the old build though. We'll have to see what she chooses on 7.
Yeah, I think for the most part that's the build, that's the pick for most people, unless you really want that dominance heal, because it gives you that shorter cooldown on the orb and also the mana return. The mana return, I think, being the most important. But okay, Li Ming finding out that 1v1ing Ana when you don't have Calamity, a little bit harder to do than you might expect.
We got the Zul'jin rotating top.
Redbeard should be okay with that stagger, though. Garrosh coming in. The Dorito coming out. Johanna's going to get caught by the scroll of ceiling there. And she's blocking Garrosh in here. And there's the armor, or the health reduction. So Garrosh going to be the next one to die. Orion looking for the Phoenix here. Should have warp, and nobody can really stop him from getting out. Yikes. Zul'jin got that Chen. Hey, do you think these guys listened to me when I said at the beginning of the game that Zul'jin could probably stack off of Chen really easily, and that's why they switched?
Who knows? I used to know one guy who he lived and he died by the offlane Zul'jin.
Oh, okay.
Just one tower shot. 2 more and it probably would have been the kill.
So Zul'jin is up here in the top lane. We're going to see a big rotation coming out from Church of Murky. We got 4 up in the top. Zul'jin sitting at 9 stacks. We've got the advanced targeting here for Phoenix. He's sitting at 29, so 1 more, and he'll get that full 3rd rotation. 13 on the Echo of the Elements here, and Johanna doing a great job of putting herself in between Garrosh and her squishier teammates.
Mind-numbing game. That Li Ming gets stacks on her, she's not gonna have a good day.
Not just Li Ming, but also Deckard, right? Because if she can get stacks onto Deckard, then his healing ability goes down pretty significantly as well. Oh, big orb going into Phoenix. He's going to have to pull back there. But Indomitable used by Garrosh, pulling away from the team. But here's the Zerg, and it's a pretty heavy Zerg on both sides, 100% to 80%. Make it 67%. There seem to be thresholds for the Zerg here, as Garrosh gonna get brought down pretty low here. Not quite enough to kill him.
And if only Grenade did more damage.
Then it would be OP. Or if only Ana had taken Night Terrors, she probably would have killed Garrosh there. That's a 10% of health, so that probably would have been enough. Hey, would you? Quiet.
Oh, we see nearly dying up in the top lane of Redbeard with the Zerg wave. Almost.
Phoenix is looking to push on to Chen, but they're both low here because Phoenix has a deceptively low health bar when he doesn't have a shield. Recyclic saying you can't be dive Ana now if you don't have vampiric rounds.
Hey, vampiric rounds in the ARAM.
Right?
One of the fun things.
All right, so how much value did we get here? So ultimately, Bancho got a little bit of damage onto the fort, about maybe 5%. No damage onto the fort from Church of Murky, but still both wells down, both walls down. So overall, pretty well balanced. And again, so what I was going to mention about the Zerg wave is that when they made the change, it seems that there are now like thresholds that once you get to a certain point, that's your Zerg wave, because your base minimum Zerg wave will always be 18%. Whether you're at 0 to 18%, actually I think even 20% on the channel gets you an 18% Zerg wave. What we saw there is that Church of Murky had an 80% channel, but only got a 67% Zerg wave, and I think that's because of the value that the Guardians bring.
The Guardians themselves, if I remember right, they do the most seeds per hit of all the day.
They also do the drop pods, but here we've got the Earthquake coming in with the Purification Salvo. GREYMANE going to be the kill. Deckard Cain falling to the guillotine, and Garrosh going to be taken out there by Thrall as well.
We see the Zul'jin fall though. Looks like you can't find the angle.
But with the siege camp up in the top here, Chen's going to be able to take out this top fort. Maybe? Maybe not. Oh, crap. Looks like top fort is going down. So Church of Murky trading people for a fort. They also do lose that fort in the bot lane, but they were going to lose that fort either way. So Chen getting that top fort at least gives them a counter kill-ish thing.
Keeps them up in the XP. As far as they can be anyways with a level and a half down from what it seems like.
Recyclic said, I don't know if you heard my dog earlier. She was kind of going, and Recyclic thought that was you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chen did try to hit that Storm Earth and Fire, but a little bit too late. Here comes the guillotine, gonna miss the dude. The channel gonna be picked up now by Bancho. Currently one hero down on the side of Church of Murky.
I'm waiting to see if Bancho's Ronin can pull off the 1 HP guillotine.
That's gonna be pretty difficult with not having Taz Dingo, of course. It's hard to get to exactly that 1 HP and not just die. Once again, the Earthquake Purification Salvo gonna get the kill this time onto the Li Ming, and Johanna's gonna get in there to get the kill onto Deckard.
Are we gonna see a boss play out of this?
Looks like they were chasing down Thrall. I'm not really sure, like, I think boss was the call, but they're not doing it. They're gonna go looking for structure value here. They're not gonna get much of it either. Like, maybe they will. I don't know. What do I know?
They'll just get a full Zerg wave at this rate.
They will, but that's all going top lane. So the couple of moments that they've spent down here just really didn't get them anything, and it actually exposes them to a lot of risk now. Although Chen going a little too hard.
The Panda Palace got interrupted. Had they not been, oh, that would have
Well,
been
no, he just died. Death was the interrupt. Both times. The last time was the same thing. He waited too long to hit the Storm Earth and Fire. Oh.
Sometimes you just need to hit it early.
Cursed Bullet going out onto Ronin, getting the guillotine. I don't know that it hit Orion, though. I think that was all just damage from the Zerg. Top fort already down, though, so here they come onto the top keep. What do you think their chances are here, Carino?
I would say, as long as they can protect the Guardians, they're definitely going to get this keep. To end the game? I think it's still too early for that.
It will depend entirely on if they can get any kills here. Nanabu's going out onto, I didn't even see who, Shisui?
Oh.
Once again, that combo, Purification Salvo and the Earthquake here, is going to net them 3 kills. They lose the Thrall as part of it, make it 4. They soon get Deckard? Can they win the game now? I think they can. They don't have Thrall, but they oh, Zul'jin. Zul'jin doesn't have any health, so he had to pull back a little bit.
But that's the strength. Sometimes you let your Zul'jin go down to 1 HP.
Alrighty.
So a clean 2-0 victory for Bancho.
Not bad. Hey, relax. Somebody got excited over that win. 18 kills to 3. That'll help out their KDA.
And who knows, maybe they will be up there whenever it's key. Whenever key gives them the stats.
Indeed, indeed. So that will equalize them out with many of the division here at 6 games. So it's going to put their standings up a little bit. We'll show that. Oh, you know what? Let me go back to stats. Let me go back to stats while we try to get somebody in for an interview. Meet me in the NGS lobbies. Hey, fancy meeting you here.
Yeah, good to see you.
Rex saying, I hate Phoenix, the character, not Quinall. That's nice of you to clarify that. And since you said it in chat as opposed to verbally, I'll just assume that you also don't mean your own team. Alright, so we are going to get joined here momentarily by someone from Banjo.
Who knows, maybe the whole team will come in. Obvious.
They usually don't. I mean, I don't freak out if they do, but... Alright, looks like we're not getting the whole team. We're just gonna get Ronan and Bluestein. So welcome and congratulations on your victory. How you guys feeling?
Pretty good. Yeah, definitely a lot of respect for that team. So it was a good series. It was fun.
Yeah, definitely unexpected to have those kinds of 2 matches, but we definitely had to be on point. But tons of respect to that team. They're solid, and we had to be on our game for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, you guys played a really solid couple of games. How did you prepare for this? Because I know Church of Murky is a team that's been around for a little while. They've been a pretty solid team in Division D. They played in the off-season in the Zul'jin Distillery Invitational. You guys played in that as well. So what did you do to prepare to play against this team?
Well, personally, I play with 3 of them, like off and on throughout the week. So unfortunately, I know they're big playmaker heroes. Like Kazad's a big one, and who was it? Sylvanas, GREYMANE, and so I think just knowing them a little bit, taking some of their strongest picks, definitely helped us and hurt them maybe a little bit.
So a little bit of a spy in the midst of Church of Murky, you might say.
I wouldn't say that, but just just sucks playing, you know.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. And obviously in game 1, we had that disconnect there from Spice. So really, I said it earlier, but I want to shout out to Church of Murky that, it's really fantastic to say, hey, let's go ahead and just, remake this. It's early in the game. So,
So that was really cool of them to do that.
Yeah, nobody wants to play with a bot. That's just not fun. So
I mean, a bot on our team is as good as Spice, so it works.
Ouch.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Dang, the shade. So, all right. So, let's talk a little bit about that Infernal Shrines match. So, Ronan, March of the Black King. I was a little surprised by this. So, tell us about this. Like, what was the thinking behind that? And, obviously we didn't get to level 20, but was your level 20 to go into the upgrade?
Yeah, I was gonna go to the March upgrade, level 20, if we got there. Yeah, I just like that better than Tomb. I don't know. It's just more fun. And
I
I
have to
feel like
say
I
this-
get pretty good value out of it usually. So
It's kind of becoming your trademark because you've done it a few games now.
yeah.
Yeah, I like it too. You sold me on it.
That tells you guys how many Ban Show games I've cast so far this season. So my apologies for that one. I think I cast you guys once, other than this one.
Yeah.
So, but that might have even been before Ronan was on the team, right? Because he just joined a couple weeks ago.
No, he's been on the team for the season. Yeah.
All right, then I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. It's a good thing I'm not like your div mod or anything. That would be unfortunate. What the heck? Krino, what questions do you have?
I'm trying to think. Yes, guillotine. What made you, Ronan, decide to play the Zul'jin instead of having Shisui play the carry? Swapping up from the carry to the off lane.
Well, this team is very flexible. They've always been flexible as far as like, what everyone's gonna play. So we've been doing that all season, and I played Zul'jin even a couple weeks ago too. So that's the reason. Flexibility.
Well, it's definitely enjoyable to watch.
Yes, thank you.
So in game number 1, we get the Rhaegar. In game number 2, Ana. You guys originally had banned out Ana in game number 1, and then and they had banned the Johanna. So starting with the Johanna and Ana, I just wanted to say Ana, Johanna, and Johanna, Ana. It's just, I don't actually have a question. I just like to say it.
Yeah.
Like,
It was brought up in the chat as well.
but like, so seriously, like, what? How much of your draft was planned out? These 5 heroes that you take. How much of that was planned out right at the beginning, and how much of that evolved as you saw what they were taking in their draft? Obviously, they started with the GREYMANE, then they go into the Deckard Garrosh. So that Thrall Phoenix pickup shortly thereafter. Like, is that in response to what they took, or was that the plan?
I think, the Ana Joanna was in response. It was mostly in response to the GREYMANE. At least the Joanna was. And then the Ana was more just of a counter pick because we know they run that Ana and Malthael. We've seen a few times, so that's not something we really want to go up against. So that was the reasoning for taking Ana. And Joanna was more of a counter pick to the GREYMANE. And the other 2 picks of Thrall and Phoenix, that was a decision we made coming into the second match. It was something that we've had some success with playing outside of NGS. So we decided to implement it, and we felt like it's a strong comp, so that was the reasoning for that.
Well, it worked out really well. It's the Thrall Phoenix is an old school combo that came out as soon as Phoenix came out, right? The Purification Salvo with the Earthquake, and you guys played it great. I mean, you had 3 of those combos, and just there was nothing that could be done on the other side. So, fantastic job. I have one last question for you, and then if Krino's got anything else. So, how are you doing on getting your flex matches scheduled?
I read online somewhere that not scheduling your flex matches usually correlates to a better record. So that's why I haven't been doing it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There you go.
Because it looks like you guys have 2 left. One with Frankfurters, one with I Must Feed, and Frankfurters one of the 2 other teams who have yet to schedule their second flex match. So
That
hopefully,
sounds like a bad combo.
yeah, doesn't it though? Yeah, and go figure that Frankfurters, their other flex match that they have to schedule is with Probius, the other team that has.
Oh my god.
So it's just a circle jerk of people not scheduling flex matches over here.
We're actually, if it's any consolation, we're probably playing one of our flex matches next week. So
we're in talks right now.
Yeah, we're in conversation.
Well, considering we're in week 6, that would be week 7. I hope that you've got the other one planned for week 8, or even in week 7. I mean.
Yeah. We'll talk
around.
to Frankfurters about that.
Good plan. Good plan. All right, Carino. Any other questions you have for these folks from Banjo?
Just from Blue Sign, do you ever go the dive on them with Vampire Crowns with dynamic optics?
Not in NGS.
So I would make both.
We do take requests though, so
Yeah.
you never know, right?
Well, I think Psychic was looking for that too, so you got at least 2 people.
All right, we'll see what we can do next
Yeah.
week.
There you go.
Next week.
All right, guys.
Tune in.
So before we do shoutouts, any particular moment that you felt was a highlight moment tonight that either you did, your team did, or the opponents did?
I guess in the first match, I was just really proud of our macro game for sure. I feel like that's not always our strong suit, so I thought we did a great job just making the map blue and holding on to all those points and just keeping the pressure on, which is somewhere where we usually struggle a little bit. So that was a really positive sign for us. So I really like that.
Sure, makes sense. All right, guys. Any shoutouts? Go ahead.
Go for it, Ronan. What's your shout out?
Dang it, man. Shout outs to the team, of course. Shout outs to you guys for casting. It's always good when we can get on the screen there. Shout outs to Church of Murky. Great group of guys. You know, great team. I just felt like the first match they were just lacking a little bit of wave clear, and I think the macro just kind of took advantage of that. So it was hard for them to come back. Second game was a lot closer. So that could have went either way. And that's it.
And I want to apologize to Spice.
Good call. Good call.
Oh,
Public apology.
Good deal. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us here tonight. Again, congratulations on your victory. Now, very important, make sure that you upload the correct replay, because you will have an extra replay in there for that first match.
Oh, true. Okay.
So make sure that you double check. You'll see the 2 versions of the Infernal Shrines. In fact, honestly, I would even just delete the one that's 1 minute and 40 seconds or whatever, because obviously you're not going to get any value out of it. So
just in case.
Yeah,
for sure.
So just make sure you upload, because it's happened, right? We've had people that uploaded the 20-second match that got redone. So the whole point of doing that draft was so we got the stats right. So don't throw it all away.
I'll be sure. All
right, guys. Have a good night.
No,
All right, you too. Thank you.
Alrighty, so Carino, that's the end of this matchup here. Banjo 2, Church of Murky 0. That's going to put, I mentioned the standings, I wanted to put those back up here. 14-13, that's going to put Banjo now up to 17, which does put them in first place for Division D East.
Ooh. Well, we'll see what the calculations look like after with the next week once Smiley gets through them.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. Now that we've got that extra match in, and maybe they'll have another flex match in before he does that update. So who knows? All right. Well, our next matchup isn't until 11:30. That's a little over an hour away. So I'm gonna dig around and see if I can find a replay cast. And I did mention to Rec that I'd bring him back in if I was gonna do that. So we'll be back in a few minutes. But Carino, before we take off, anything you'd like to say out there to the folks in Twitchland?
Well, thanks for having me for one, Aero. Seems I'm cursed since every time I've tried to co-cast with you, something always happens.
Yeah, but this is the first time we've actually been able to do it, right?
Yeah.
So we made it. We got through it. You're not cursed. Clearly it's somebody else.
I wanted to say hello to any friends out there in Twitch chat, and for Vec, Le Bouger.
Le Bouger. Alrighty, well, we will be back in a few minutes here as we get set up for another game. I will post another thumbnail. You guys will all get the notice of who we're gonna play, and then I'm gonna go let the teams know so that we can get that replay cast going. So thanks again for joining me, Carino. It was an absolute pleasure, and I hope we get to do this again soon.
All right, you have a good night.